That's not cool.
You don't need that. That's cool.
Charlie's having a rough day.
Go ahead and ask the first question, Charlie. Well, Coach, South Carolina, your thoughts coming up?
Well, we got a few more days to prepare. But the game plan's in. You know, it's now we're polishing it up and making sure our guys know what they need to do and they're able to go. You know, be able to know what to do and do it full speed.
How good of a rivalry is this game? I mean, it's North versus South. Do the kids recognize the rivalry that exists here, possibly?
I'm sure they do. I mean, they know where the state of South Carolina is compared to North Carolina. They know it's a little bit south of us, and you know, so I'm sure they're aware of that. But you know, right? I mean, the majority of everything we've done going up until we got into this week was you know, based on ourselves. So. And now it's been all South Carolina, so that's what their focus is. It's the most important game we got. It's the next game.
To play in an NFL stadium too. To play in an NFL stadium, how are they really stoked about that?
I think the guys are excited about playing in Charlotte, playing in Bank of America Stadium. I mean, it should be a lot of fun. It ought to be a great game.
How significant a platform is it in terms of, you know, recruiting and whatnot too?
Well, I mean, obviously there's great high school talent in the Charlotte area. There's great high school coaching in that area. We're going to recruit that area. It's been very fertile. And so it's nice to be able to play there every once in a while in front of all those people.
What's the scouting report on the Gamecocks?
They're good. They're good. And Coach Spurrier will have them prepared. He always does.
Tyson Williams had a good spring. You talked a lot. You were really pleased with his performance at the end of spring. He's on the depth chart that you guys released today. How has he progressed this month?
I think he's done a great job this camp, and I anticipate him playing, you know, in this game. I mean, I think he'll help us in this game. So. He's doing a lot of things for us, and he's very mature and has handled everything we put him in. You know, he's handled it.
Where does your offensive line stand right now as far as health and where everybody's playing, and how confident you are of them being at full strength?
I think they're pretty healthy from everything I've been told. I mean, so I think we're going to be at full strength. We'll see. We still got a few days to go. Anything can happen.
With the way last season ended, such a down note, the chemistry talk after the season, before the season, what you described, fixing those issues, does this game take on added importance, do you think, because of all that?
I don't know if it's added importance. It's pretty important the way we come out on Thursday night and the way we perform. But it doesn't define our season. It gives us an idea of where we're at, and so no matter what happens, we still got a long season ahead of us, so we've got to be prepared. Our guys, I think there's much better chemistry right now on this football team than there is. But again, we hadn't faced any adversity yet, so who knows what this team's all about yet.
How important is it to avoid just kind of the slow starts that are kind of defining the first half of the season?
There's probably not a coach in the country that wants to start slow, so it's pretty important. I mean, we don't coach them to start slow. We don't, I assure you. So it's, we hopefully will execute, and that's what it boils down to. If you're focused and you execute well, usually good things are going to happen.
Coach, Marquise has been pretty loose all camp. Do you sense him tightening up just a little bit?
No. Marquise doesn't tighten up. That's just who he is. That's his personality, but he's pretty competitive and he's pretty focused. So, but at the same time, he's a guy that's pretty loose.
Going back to the depth chart, you have 8 true freshmen. Most of those guys came early. Collectively, as a group, have they kind of met about what you expected they would do at this point?
Oh, I think some of them have exceeded expectations already. I mean, just in the way they've handled themselves during camp and the way they prepared themselves before they got here. And so that was impressive from some of those guys. And so, you don't always see that, but those guys, they prepared themselves, and it was obvious when they got here.
Who has exceeded it? Like Tommy Hatton, maybe?
Oh, Tommy Hatton. I mean, you could say Tommy Hatton. You could say Aaron Crawford. Tyson. I mean, you got some guys that have really stepped up and shown that they can help this football team.
Larry, how anxious you see this defense interfering against somebody else? Kind of judge how much they call it.
Yeah, I'm very anxious to see it. I mean, because you have no way of knowing until we get out there and we start playing. We play another team, and how we react to all the scenarios that are going to come up in a game, and so I'm anxious to see it. I know we've the defensive staff's done a great job of preparing them and coaching them, and now we got to turn them loose and let them play.
Larry, what do you remember about the last few seconds of the game that you played against them a couple years ago?
I don't really remember that game, actually.
The timeouts, you don't.
I don't remember that.
Is there one position group you're more worried about than others heading into Thursday?
No, I'm worried about every position group we got. That's just who I am. I'm not going to sit here and say I feel great about any position. I'm worried about everybody every day. I'm worried that somebody might fall out of bed tonight and hurt themselves. So, you know, I mean, I got a lot. I think about a lot of things.
How hard did you guys recruit Fedora Cooper?
You know, I was in the transition, and you know, probably not hard enough. He is one heck of a football player, you know, and you know, I don't think that would have happened if we'd have been here for a year, you know. But it just, unfortunately, that's the way it played out, and I can't say enough great things about the way he plays the game. I mean, that guy's a ball player.
When you're preparing to face a guy like that, does it remind you of the importance of keeping kids like that in
Oh,
sync?
no doubt. You know, you got two guys. You get their starting quarterback and him. I mean, so yeah, you're always faced with that. So, but again, it's not about worrying about the ones that get away. It's about the ones you get, because you got them for 4 years. So you better do a great job of developing the ones you get.
You guys have 18 players on the roster from Charlotte. Do you feel like you're really getting all the talent and potential you can get out of Charlotte? Or there's still some rocks?
Oh, I think there's still guys out there. I mean, you know, you'd love to get every single one of them, but I don't know if it ever happens. But I know, you know, Gunnar Brewer recruits that area very well for us and does a great job and has made a lot of connections. And it's a very, very important, you know, area for us.
Larry, with Gene coming in, taking over the defense, has your role changed any in terms of game prep and how y'all handle things leading up to games?
No, I mean, I've never gone in the defensive room and told them what to run. So I mean, you know, the offensive guys probably wish I'd get out of that room, you know. But I hadn't changed. I mean, I'm still involved in all special teams in the offense, and that's about it. I can't go there and help the defense out.
Do you entrust anything more to him as a former head coach? Because you had talked about it's a nice asset to have a guy that's been in your seat before.
I'm very comfortable with everything that Gene's doing and that staff. I mean, you know, because you got guys, you got 3 guys in there that have been former coordinators, so they know what's got to be done. They get it. And then Gene's been a head coach, so he understands, you know. So there's nothing that I'm going to go in there and tell them that's going to make them feel any better or change what they're doing.
Obviously, you're excited to see it all on the field, but on this note, is the defense perhaps the most exciting part of what you'll see Thursday night and finally seeing what happens?
You know what? I mean, I'm excited about all of it, to be honest with you. I mean, I can't sit here and say I'm only excited about watching one side of the ball, because I'm not. I'm excited about seeing what this 2015 team is going to be all about. That's what I'm excited about, because there's no way to know. You just don't know. You practice, you put them in all the situations you could put them in, and you hope that they're focused and they're locked in and it carries over to games. But you don't know till you get out there.
So it doesn't matter